we're here today with Amy Shonka. She's one of our co-authors in the Permission Granted book, which we hope everyone buys from Amazon on July 30th. And so what we're doing is interviewing our co-authors because they're our friends and we want you to feel like they're your friends too. And so everybody's been very gracious about coming on and letting us ask them a couple of questions and that kind of thing. So I met Amy in Nashville, Tennessee last year, and we just hit it off immediately. She is a one of those women that you just look up to when you meet her. And so hopefully when you read her chapter, you'll see what I'm talking about and hopefully get to know her a little bit better today. So Amy, we're going to turn it over to you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. I love to be here with you ladies, and I'm so excited about our book coming out this week. I live in the Midwest, so in Minnesota, rural, but not super rural. I live about 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul area. I have owned a yoga studio and a fitness center for about 20 years and run a yoga teacher training school as part of that company. And I have a second company that's called Life Revamp. And I've had that for about 9 years or so. And in Life Revamp, I work almost exclusively with small groups of women and currently online with my stuff. And it's just been such a fun program to essentially holistically work in their whole life and try to create just awesome impact in their own life. And it's just been fun work and I love it. And I also love renovating things. So that's a big passion. And
we've heard physically renovating, not just
physically renovating.
We're not talking about Amy just draws the plan. She's using the hammer and the nails.
HGTV, here she comes, right?
That's right, exactly. No, I always say that I know how to use every power tool that there is. And,
we should. We all
exactly.
should. Well, listen, we are super excited about this too. And, Lori and I have talked and we've shared with our viewers and the folks that really are connected to us. And that's really what this is about is getting you connected with people who are connected to us, because there's this soulful connection between people that we want our tribe members to feel as well. So I guess the first question we wanted to ask you is, why did you choose to do a chapter in this Permission Granted book? Like Lori and I have kind of shared our whys, but what's your why? Why did you decide to do this?
Mm-hmm. Well, partially because it was a whole group of women that had come together, and this group has been together, as you might have shared with your people, for about almost 2 years. I was a little bit of a late add to the group. I came in a couple months late, and just instantly when I met everybody, I was like, oh, what a fantastic group of just alive women. And part of that coming into the group and learning about the fact that we were going to write a book together, I was like, what an awesome way to have an impact with, 20 different authors, 20 different women who, having gotten to know everybody through these 2 years, like I just couldn't, get into this fast enough, knowing that each individual stories are fine and amazing individually, but collectively powerful. And that's really why I couldn't wait to get into it.
I agree.
I love that. I got chill bumps when you said we were an alive group of women. And so it must be truth, because those are my truth bumps, but I get it.
I love it.
So your chapter, tell us about your chapter, what the title is, and sort of what's your intention. Tonya and I sort of set an intention for what we wanted our chapter to do. And so what's your intention behind your chapter?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. So my chapter is called Permission to Do It Scared, because in working with women for the last 20 years, one of the things that in coaching them, one of the things that comes up time and time again is them saying at one point, I'm just scared to do this. But yet when they do it, when they lean into it and actually take some forward motion, I just feel like I watch these women just, shed 1,000 pounds and grow 1,000 times more confident in 2 seconds. And in my chapter, I used some examples of my life of doing things scared. For instance, my family and I had been a foster family for almost 12 years. And we had 84 foster kids that came and lived with us in the course of that time. And, when I first sort of pondered, like, is this something we could do? We only had one child at the time. And super scared of the thought. Like I was 25 years old at that time, and just super scared. And I was like, no, I need to try this. I feel like we had such good things to give. And so, within a few months, we had 7 children in my house. And every time I had another child, so I have 4 biological kids, every time I had another child, then I had to shift the number of foster children that could be in our house, because we could have 7 total. So I talk about my foster parenting decision. Also just talking about, in a time of, I think sometimes us women feel like there's a lot of pressure to do what we feel like our family or society or whoever, we feel a lot of pressure from that. And sometimes I like to remind ourselves that when we feel pressure, we don't have to take it on. And so I also shared this step in there in my life about really early on into, essentially even before I had my first child, being willing or interested in stepping into changing the course of what I thought my career was going to be, ultimately leaving a more corporate job, and then staying home and starting my own businesses. And that just was a big, scary step, but also one that just was so key to essentially making me ultimately an entrepreneur for the last 25 years and all those good things. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the intention behind it is helping, like, sharing our stories so that everybody else can get a piece of it and understand and maybe connect, because they may not connect with mine, but maybe they do with yours. And I think that's the excitement of this group of women too, is everybody's story is so unique. It's hard not to connect with everybody, honestly. So let's talk about Permission Granted. I think for me, I said no to this book at the beginning, and then Lori's excitement got me to a yes. And I think part of it was the title itself, Permission Granted. Tell us a little bit about what Permission Granted means to you, like giving yourself permission, just not just your chapter, but as a whole. What does that mean for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It is truly this notion of granting yourself permission is foundational to all the work that I've done for all these years. And personal work too. But so we're all 3 of us here have been trained by Jack Canfield. And the first thing you learn on the first day of our Canfield training is to take 100% responsibility for where you are in your life. And I love that notion. I change it a little just when I teach it. And I say, you have to understand you are the architect of your own life. And I think too many women still don't really believe that. I think too many women feel like we have to get approval or wait until somebody says, oh, you're a really good, you're a really good yoga teacher. I would think you should, you do yoga really well. I think you should teach it. Or you're a really good speaker. I think you should go speak. We wait for somebody to give us that approval. And for me, early on, I have an amazing parents, but my dad specifically was just so key when I was a young woman. And he would just be like, you don't have to wait for anything. If you want to build it, build it. If you want to, try it. And that's just been such a theme in my life that when I saw this whole Permission Granted thing, I was like, yep, that's it. And we need to get this out to everybody.
Great.
Yeah. So what we like to do with the people that we serve is to try to give people real life things that they can do, simple things that you can take and actually incorporate into your daily life. So if you were going to leave our audience with one thing that you think is key to helping us just live better lives, what would that be?
I would say it's to not just live intentionally, but to actually take a moment in the morning before you get out of bed to visualize that. So a lot of us know what we want to create, whether that is, create a different habit or create something different in our life, like a cleaner house or a more organized life. But what we forget or what we don't realize is we have to combine that visualization of something with feeling. So excitement, as if it already happened. And so what I tell people is just before you get out of bed, think about, what are you trying to build in your life right now? What goal do you have? Maybe you're just going to eat more vegetables, or maybe you're going to be a more organized person. So lay there and visualize that happening in your life, and not only see it as a picture or a little movie in your brain, but also imagine and feel the feelings that will come along with that when that has happened. And that's the whole quantum field space. And that's when truly you get your subconscious brain on board and amazing things happen.
That's where the magic is.
That's where the magic is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. And if you train yourself as a habit, right? If you train yourself to do it every single day, it's something that simple that if we just take that moment before we get out of bed and visualize whatever it is that we're working on or we want,
feel it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything else? Tell us, how do our folks get in touch with you? Anything else you want to leave us with, or before we close this up?
Yeah, I think you guys are doing amazing work and you have amazing impact out there. It's such a pleasure to know you guys. But if you are at home right now during this, different world that we're living in, my one company called Heartwork Studio, we are doing online yoga and bar classes right now, and they've just been super well received by our community. So if that's something that you're looking for, that's available. I'll put a link in the YouTube down below. So that will be there for you if you want to jump into some of those classes.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks
you so
ladies.
much, Amy. Another thing about you, I don't know if this is something that you have on your website, but you are one of so Amy did like a 2-week nutrition course or something that I did not long ago. And you have this really unique talent of explaining nutrition in a way that people who don't understand a lot of the sciencey stuff can get it. And you're very, very gifted with that. So if that's on her website, y'all check that out too.
Yeah, Lori.
It's called my 14-day deep dive.
Yes. Lori called me when she was doing it and was talking about eliminating things and adding them back, and how just amazing it was, and how it taught her so much about her body and the way that she receives things. It was pretty awesome.
Good. I love that. Thanks for that.
It was just a feel good kind of, like you felt better, so you wanted to keep doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. I love
so thank
that.
you so much. We
Love
are
to
so
see.
excited to be sharing this book with you. And, I'm just so glad that I've met you, that you've now met Tonya by
Love it.
online, right? But we are all connected and are staying connected mainly because of this book, I think. And
I love
it's
it.
got some magic to it. So
it does. Well, I love that we're sharing it, and I love that you guys are together and
Thank you.
sharing your stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right, guys, permission granted, July 30th, Amazon. Check it out, buy us, read us. You're going to love it.
That's right.
Yes.